Assalamu alaikum everybody, this is Mr. Mudathir from Legacy School and this is ICT Year 7. This lesson is mostly theoretical, so you can just sit back and get ready because this is probably the longest lesson, the longest online lesson that I had created so far. But what is amazing about it is that it brings scenarios from real life. It's just like a story. Someone's reading you a story and then it's entirely related to technology and ICT. However, pay attention because at the end of the unit there will be tasks that you are going to perform. So let's get started. Presenting information. Case study introduction. Meet John Sr. and John Jr. They are father and son. Like many dads and their sons, they agree on some things but not on others. They both like to watch the news, but they argue over which channel to watch. John Sr. likes News 24 and the Sunday morning news programs, and John Jr. likes Newsround. They sometimes listen to the radio together in the car on the way to school. John Sr. likes Mature FM. John Jr. prefers to listen to Youth FM. They both like music, but as you might have guessed by now, they don't like the same music. John Sr. has a copy of the BBC Music magazine, which is the worst best-selling classical music magazine. John Jr. is a bit more up-to-date than his dad. He likes rock music and he reads the NME. John Jr. is in his ICT lesson. He's good at ICT. Mrs. Wendell, the ICT teacher, has asked him to create a slideshow using PowerPoint. It's open evening soon and parents will be visiting each department to see what they do. Mrs. Wendell thought a PowerPoint slideshow would be a good idea. John Jr. opens up PowerPoint and starts designing the slideshow. After a few minutes, he's got his first 2 slides. What you see at the top of this page is his presentation. John Jr. starts to think about the argument he had the night before with his dad. He realizes that the people who will be watching this presentation will be just like his dad. This makes him think again about his presentation. His dad won't like the way that some of the information is presented. Other adults might not like it either. John Jr. goes back to the keyboard and starts to make some changes. After a few minutes, the slides now look like this. On the open evening, the parents sit and watch the presentation. John Jr. feels a bit nervous because they are all watching the presentation that he made. He did all the things that he thought his dad would like, but now he's worried that it seems a bit boring. At the end of the presentation, all the adults clap. John Jr. asks his dad what he thought of the presentation. His dad tells him that he thought it was exactly right for the occasion and that he's proud of his son for doing such a good job. Evaluating a presentation. In this unit, you will learn to decide what you like and don't like about a presentation. Consider purpose and audience. Identify what makes a good presentation. Introduction to presentations. There are a lot of different ways of presenting information to people, and you may have talked about some of these already. In this unit, we will look at PowerPoint presentations. These are sometimes called slideshows. Slideshows combine text, images, and sounds onto separate pages, called slides. Slideshows can have any number of slides in them. People make slideshows for all kinds of reasons. They are really useful if they are projected onto a big screen while a person is doing a talk. Another option is for people to sit and watch them on their own computers. All presentations have a purpose, a reason for showing it, and an audience, the people who will be viewing it. Have a look at the Laugh Aid 1 presentation. This is being shown in schools and gives ideas about how pupils can raise money for charity. 2 of the slides are shown below. Purpose. Every presentation is made for a reason. To entertain. Example, a slideshow about your hobbies to be shown to your friends. To inform. Example, a slideshow shown to parents about GCSE options. To persuade. Example, a slideshow used by a charity to encourage people to raise money. Later on, you will create your own presentation. When you're finished, you should check that is it suitable for its purpose. Next is audience. Think about the programs that you have seen on TV recently or the websites that you have visited. Did you notice how they were made in a certain style? For example, what about the news? The way that is presented on BBC News 24 is very different from the way it is presented on Radio 1 or on a program like Newsround. You might never have seen News 24. If not, why is that? The reason is because it's made in a style that will appeal to the audience. When you make a presentation, you must be very clear about who the audience is. When your presentation is finished, you should check that it is suitable for the audience. Features of a good presentation. When you make a presentation, you need to make sure that you don't make the mistakes that Laugh Aid did. Here are a few things you should check. Is the purpose clear? Have you got the main message across? Is it suitable for the intended audience? Have you got the right amount of text on each slide? Is the use of language suitable? Have you used color appropriately? Have you used suitable images and sounds? Creating a basic presentation. We can work with templates, add text, images to the slides, run a slideshow. Presentation basics. In this unit, we look at how to create a simple presentation. Earlier, as you saw in the previous presentations, it's made up of slides which the audience view one slide at a time. The slides can contain text, word art, images, videos, animations, or sound. Slideshows are sometimes designed to be shown while a person is talking, and sometimes they are used on their own. And later on, you might be able to create a presentation all about yourself. You can then show this to your classmates. As you create your slideshow, it's very important to keep in mind the purpose of the audience. In this case, purpose to tell your classmates about yourself. The audience, your classmates. Working with templates. PowerPoint has a selection of slide templates or layouts they are called now in the recent versions of Microsoft Office that you can use as shown in figure 1. You need to choose the layout that is most suitable for the information you are presenting. This presentation will have at least 4 slides. Slide number 1, title. 2, personal details. For example, age, height, hair, color, which town or village you live in, and so on. Slide 3, hobbies. Slide 4, family and friends. You can add other slides later if you wish. Adding text. Now that you have your design or layout, you can start to make your slideshow. You need to think carefully about how much text to put on each slide and what font size, styles, and colors you use. We saw how bad slideshows can look in some of the examples earlier. You can follow these simple guidelines. Do not put too much text on one slide. Use a font size that's big enough, probably size 20 and above. Do not use too many different types of fonts. Do not use too many colors of fonts. Make sure the color of the font stands out from the background color. For example, you can't have a white background in a white font color because it would be invisible. Adding images. The great thing about slideshows is that they can be multimedia. This means that as well as text, you can add images, animations, videos, and sound. We are now going to look at adding images. You can get images from several places. The images might be pictures or photographs. You could get them from the clip art, the internet, photographs you have taken on a digital camera, photographs or images that you have scanned with a scanner. You should choose the image that is most appropriate. For example, a photograph of yourself would be more appropriate in your presentation than a clip art image. Running the slideshow. When your slideshow is complete, you should check it carefully, as you would with any piece of work. This means proofreading as well as spell checking. When you run the slideshow, the slides will be shown one after another. You can set the slides to change automatically after a few seconds, or get the viewer to click the mouse themselves to move on. When you move from one slide to the next, this is known as a transition. You have to choose the right transition for your slides. This depends on the purpose and the audience. For example, as people read at different speeds, you might set your slideshow to change slides only when clicked by the user. Consistency of design. The objectives from this is now get a consistent design, use a slide master, use slide transitions. Presentation design. Earlier you learned how to create a basic presentation using slide layouts, text and images. In this unit we will look at how we can improve the overall design of the presentation. This unit or this part also shows you how to set up slide transitions, which is the way that the slideshow moves from one slide to the next. It's very important to try to achieve consistency of design. This means that every slide in a slideshow shares the same design features. Look at the two examples below. The information in both is similar, but they are presented very differently. You can see that in slideshow 2, this one right here, the slides share some common design features. The background color, the font style and color used for the heading, the font style and color used for the bullet points, the use of the clip art in the top right hand corner. You can see that those two slides have the same information, but they are presented in a very different way, this one and this one. Also here we have those two different slides. They both contain the same information, but they are presented in a very different way. Using a slide master. This part, slide master, we studied last year. The easiest way to make sure that your slides are consistent is to use a slide master. A slide master is like a template. You set it up with all of the design features that you want. When you have finished, PowerPoint applies the design to all of the slides in the presentation. Any new slides automatically use the settings from the master slide. You can set the background color and font style and add any images that you want to appear on every slide. For example, you might want a logo to appear on all the slides. Consistent use of fonts and images. The Slide Master helps with consistency. However, you still need to think about how you add text and images. For example, PowerPoint automatically changes the font size so that the text fits neatly inside the frame. You might think it looks better to make sure all the font size are the same. With images, you should think about where the image is located on each slide and how big it is. Slide transitions. There are different effects that you can create when the presentation moves from one slide to the next. These are called slide transitions. For example, you can have one slide fading out with the next slide fading in. You can also add sound effects as the slides change. They are used to add impact to the presentation. There are lots of effects to choose from, but the rule about being consistent is important here too. If you are going to use slide transitions, you should make sure that they are appropriate for the presentation and that you don't use too many different effects. Well, this is the end of this lesson. However, there is another part for this lesson. It's actually two parts. We've gone really good at this part. It was mostly theoretical. It enlightens you about the two things that you need to think about the minute you have a presentation to create, which are the purpose for that presentation and the audience, and how you must think about the people that are going to watch or attend your presentation, and all other technical parts like using templates or using layouts depend on the information that you're going to present, and how you can plan how many slides you need, and also what information should be on each and every slide. And you already know this, that a PowerPoint presentation contains multimedia. That means text, animation, images and videos, and it's really important how you are going to present the information or the presentation that you have, and how Slide Master can help you with consistency, not to have too much font style, not to have small text or too large font on your presentation, not to have images that is unrelated to the presentation, how you can pick images from the clip art or the word art, what images that should be inserted into your presentation. The Slide Master is basically like a template that you create for your own presentation. Basically, you define what font size, color or style that you want to use, and automatically it will be applied to all the slides that you have on your presentation, and the use of transitions from one slide to the other. Well, that is it for this lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There will be a task at the end of this unit. There will be practical at the end of this unit, and we will do step-by-step explanation. Well, that is it. Till the next lesson, take good care. Bye.